Here are 6 things I wish I knew about fitness earlier. I've been physically active my entire life and also been training at the gym for several years now. Here are 6 things that I wish I knew earlier. Do the important movements, but find your exercises. So there are certain movements that most people should do, and that is pushing, pulling, pushing horizontally, pushing vertically, pulling horizontally, pulling vertically, squatting, hinging, and also some more movements. Maybe lunging, twisting, and some more movements. You don't need to do every movement that I just said, but some movements are more basic. All the movements I just said are basic, and you should do most of them, in my opinion. But even if you need to do some certain movements, you can find a certain exercise for it. So let's take an example. If you do a horizontal push, that is like a bench press, for example, but you don't need to do a bench press. So maybe you need to do the movement, but you don't need to do that exercise. Find another exercise. If, for example, bench press is making you feel uncomfortable, maybe your shoulders doesn't feel that well, maybe you get injured when you're benching, or something else. So find another exercise in that case that will make you exercise that movement still, the horizontal push. So maybe you do a dumbbell chest press, a dumbbell bench press instead. Maybe you do push-ups instead, or maybe something else. Have a longevity mindset. So think more long term, have a longer time frame for your vision and your training. So don't do risky exercises and risky training that could lead to injury. Be a bit more safe, in my opinion at least. So do more exercises or train in a way that are a bit more safe. You don't need to do the most risky type of training to gain the most amount of results. So think longer time frame. Think a longer time frame. Think a longevity mindset with your training to be able to have a good physique in the long run. Progressive overload is important. So you need to have progressive overload to be able to gain muscle. And what is progressive overload? It's doing more than you did last time in some kind of form, in some way, shape or form. So maybe you increase the weight, maybe you do more reps or sets, maybe you do the exercise slower, you do it harder in some way. You always strive to get stronger. That is the main mindset behind this. So always strive to get stronger. Have realistic expectations. This one is also huge for some people, because with social media, it's easy to get the wrong expectations, the wrong vision in a way, because most of what you see on social media is not real. And why is it not real? Because in most cases, people that showcase themselves and their bodies are either not natural, they are doing some kind of steroid, or they are editing the photos or videos in some way, maybe using light as well, so to make yourself appear as visually stimulating as possible. So a lot of things goes behind a certain picture that you can see online. So editing, lighting, not being natural, and maybe some people as well, maybe some people have better genetics as well, so keep that in mind. So have more realistic expectations to avoid body dysmorphia. Bulking is much more about diet. So if you want to bulk up and get more muscle, you should focus more on your diet than on your training. Both are super important. You need to train because you don't want to get fat. Because if you're increasing weight and you don't work out, you will get fat, you will not get muscle. But diet is the harder part, according to me, especially as an ectomorph. So diet will occupy your mind more and focus on that, because if you don't really focus on your diet, and especially if you're an ectomorph as well, if you don't really focus on your diet and you just focus on the training, and you will probably not see any results, because you need to be in a caloric surplus. That is the name of the game. And consistency is key. Be consistent, train on a weekly basis, because if you train a little bit here and a little bit there, a couple of days, a month, you will not get anywhere with that. So be consistent. That is one of the most important factors to get any type of result and any type of gains in the gym. And that is the case for most things in life. You need to be consistent. Everybody can do some things sometimes, but to do a certain type of activity on a consistent basis, on a long time frame, that is exceptional. And when you do exceptional things, you become an exceptional person. So be consistent.